maybe it was last week, I think now, that the New York Times had this report on Elon Musk's drug use. And it noted within the first two paragraphs that Elon Musk, and it detailed a lot of like things that happened in the White House, and then noted pretty quickly that Elon Musk has not made good on his promise to give $100 million to Trump organizations for the 2026 midterms that he had said he was going to do. And I found that to be like, oh, it's still 2025. It's early. The fact that they said that in this article, and it was likely Trump people who were sourcing it for the Times, just made me raise my eyebrows a little bit. And then we get into this week, and Elon Musk is just like all out criticizing Trump's bill that's being currently negotiated in the Senate. And Axios spoke to some other Trump people there, and they said that the issues that Elon has are as follows, is that the bill cuts EV tax credits. We talked about this before. Tesla is in free fall. They need some of these EV tax credits if people are going to be even interested in buying those things anymore.
That's how it's still a company. It's not because of all the cars they're selling.
And so he's pissed about that. The other thing is that Trump had wanted Starlink to be used for the FAA, and the administration was a little uneasy about that. In part,
Trump or Musk wanted Starlink?
Musk. Did I say?
You said Trump wanted.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Musk
yes.
wanted it, yeah.
Musk wanted Starlink to be used for the FAA, but planes are crashing all over the place, and
already
there's so many difficulties. I'm sure they were just like, maybe we back off of this. We'll give Starlink some other goodies, but that wasn't enough. And then Axios reported that the final straw that broke Elon Musk's hunchback was over the weekend when Trump withdrew the nomination of this guy, Jared Isaacman, who is somebody that Elon Musk wanted to head NASA or be a top official at NASA. Now, again, Starlink is dependent on the privatization of NASA to give them more contracts.
Starlink wouldn't exist if we hadn't been privatizing NASA like we started after 2008.
Right. So this is what sent Elon on the warpath. I'd also say that, like, generally capitalists and rich people don't like this bill because because the dollar has weakened significantly since the tariff announcement. And when you compound that with it exploding the national debt, that actually creates like financial precarity for the entire United States economic system. And that's why Moody's said that like they started downgrading the United States credit rating. It wasn't just in response to the tariffs. It was the tariffs and then this bill, which would exacerbate the problems that we're already seeing with both like economic uncertainty in terms of the job market drying up. There's some really concerning private sector jobs reports that are the worst they've been in years. And then also just like what this does to the national debt and the interest that would accrue for the United States to continue to borrow. So with all of that context, Elon and Trump are going at each other on social media. Matt, can you explain how this has been going down here?
So this is the newswire_US, which is not an account I follow, and I wouldn't recommend it, but they have a pretty good update here of what's been going on. So first was, looks like this morning, Elon Musk retweeted a dozen-year-old tweet from Trump saying, "I cannot believe the Republicans are extending the debt ceiling. I am a Republican and I am embarrassed." And Elon Musk quoted that saying, "Was words."
Oh, you don't want to do that to show that Donald Trump's been a hypocrite in the past. I mean, pick any issue and you'll find it, but highlighting this is going to piss him off.
"I'm using Grok to find out your positions have changed." Trump, then Trump says he'll be going to China, which, you know, good. Trump, "Elon is mad that I took his EV credit away." Continues here. Trump on Musk, disappointed. Trump, "Would have won Pennsylvania without him." Trump, "I don't know if we will have a great relationship with Elon anymore."
Wow.
Musk following the criticism, "Whatever." Elon, quote, "Without me, Trump would have lost the election." And then next, 4 minutes ago, Elon Musk unfollows senior Trump advisor Stephen Miller. I wonder if
is his wife is still working
is Katie
for
stuck
him?
in the crossfire here? But that's basically the newest volley is Elon Musk has hit the unfollow button.
Wow. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I remember a few weeks ago, we were saying with, Elon Musk's time as the head of Doge, as like a special government employee coming to an end, that we were surprised that his relationship, at least on the surface level, with Trump was going to end without any kind of messy drama. And 'cause it seemed like it wasn't going to have any messy drama.
Well, it seemed like they were in a financial, they had some financial deal together. And that's why we said like that even if they break up, they'll still be cordial because they're making money off of each other.
Yeah, and it also seemed like, Elon leaving the Doge was more of a symbolic and branding deal, with Elon Musk just not being popular, which I think goes to your point about why they made a point of pointing out that Elon was not putting his money behind any candidates in the midterm elections, where it's like Elon is just not very popular, broadly speaking, anymore. And so we thought, at least I thought they were just going to, minimize his position in the White House. But perhaps that was enough, along with these other things, to like make his ego, hurt.
Yeah, I think it was simply like the fact that this clearly undermines the entire project that he set out to create and do. Like, I do think he still had ends with the Trump administration, and that he actually did. Like, I agree with you that he actually was just, to save face specifically for like Tesla. He was saying that he was leaving, but he still very much was going to be working with the administration. And I think like, combined with the reports of his alleged drug use and him hearing all these things about, there was a lot of people, we know how thin-skinned he is, and there was a lot of people mocking the fact that Elon's job was done. And lo and behold, the 2025 budget sees the federal government spending more than they did last year, which completely makes a mockery out of Musk's whole being and project. Right. So I think he couldn't handle that. And he was ready to face the consequences of losing that inside, track he had with them to voice his opposition to it. And now we're seeing the consequences of that with Trump attacking him.
I would say there were also a lot of indications.
Yeah, we have some video here, Brandon. If you just want to
put a pin in it for a sec. Yeah. Trump, I guess, acknowledged this at the White House. He was doing this briefing about his meeting with President Xi, right?
Yeah, and this is the newly gilded White House with a bunch of new gold leaf put on over stuff. I don't know if people saw that detail, but a little bit classier, okay?
He knew every aspect of this bill. He knew it better than almost anybody, and he never had a problem until right after he left. And if you saw the statements he made about me, which I'm sure you can get very easily, it's very fresh on tape. He said the most beautiful things about me. And he hasn't said bad about me personally, but I'm sure that'll be next. But I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
That is probably, okay, so I've now long suspected that there's so many daddy issues wrapped up in Elon's obsession with Trump, like the way he would talk about how he loved him and things like that. You know that Elon Musk doesn't have a relationship with his father, and his father goes out publicly to say how disappointed in him and how not proud he is of him and how he's a bad person all the time. Now his surrogate daddy says he's disappointed in him.
So disappointed in you.
I mean, all these guys have daddy issues. Trump has daddy issues too. This is like the defining attribute, the defining feature of these right-wing conservatives, right-wing oligarchs, and right-wing billionaires, and right-wing elites. They all have daddy issues.
Know what a condom is?
Sorry.
Well, that and also like weird psychosexual obsessions. But, Elon definitely falls into both of those buckets. I will say, I was going to say before the clip was played, there was also a lot of stories throughout the past few months that Elon was butting heads with a lot of other Trump cabinet officials. And this might be that bubbling up too. Like, we know he didn't particularly like Peter Navarro, although, again, a broken clock can be right twice a day.
Right.
And he wasn't like, getting along with Besant either. Like he wasn't very popular internal to the White House either. So I think, there's a lot of hurt feelings that can come out now.
And Besant and who was the first guy you said? Navarro. It's not like they got along either.
No.
So this is Dunning-Kruger to such a huge extent. It is like, oh, we'll get the richest billionaire in and he'll know exactly because he must be a genius. And he doesn't know like basic politics of like, maybe don't fight every faction at the exact same time, including ones that are at each other's throats about, say, tariff policy or whatever.
Right. I mean, maybe don't jump around on stage and as you're talking about like buying an election in Wisconsin. Do you think people like the idea that billionaires are buying our elections? The smart guys do it. That's why they hide behind super PACs and dark money organizations, you dumbass.
The optics are clearly what upset Trump. Go ahead, Binder.
No, I was just going to say, Musk especially clearly thinks of himself in a very, very highly. He's obviously a narcissist, and but he thinks that others view him that way too because he's surrounded himself by yes men. And I'm not even just talking like the people he hires, the Doge kids who like looked up to him as some sort of like idol. I'm talking about like just like his entire daily life. Like when he logs into his own website, he's surrounded himself with these people who like call themselves like who with usernames like the Doge Father or Elon Musk facts, and that's what he sees. That's what he knows to be the reality because that's all he sees. So like he thinks that like he's gonna go out and everyone's gonna feel the same way about him. Like I truly think he was really caught by surprise and shocked by what happened to Tesla because he could not foresee it happening. He had no idea.
Well, he's created a social media. He's bought a social media Whoa! So I said more headroom, but thank you for. That's okay.
I just did it.
No, it actually works out. This is what it's like for me to sit up like this. Shoot, what was I saying? Ah, dang it.
He bought his own platform.
Oh, he bought his own platform because he was so upset about criticism from the outside. So he created a multi-billion-dollar cocoon for himself and for other right-wingers. And there you go. Like, of course he's sensitive to any information that might contradict his priors.
He's denying that. He's like, I never saw the bill or whatever.
Right.
Nobody showed me the bill, which doesn't mean he didn't know that he was getting his EV credits or not. So it's a little bit of a lawyer thing. But here's a little bit more from the Oval Office, Rust. Here's Trump.
He's upset. Remember, he was here for a long time. You saw a man who was very happy when he stood behind the Oval desk. And even with the black eye, I said, do you want a little makeup? We'll get you a little makeup. But he said, no, I don't think so, which is interesting and very nice. He wants to be who he is, so you should make that statement too, I guess. Look, Elon and I had a great relationship.
Wait, can you pause it? There's nothing that makes him more upset than the idea that he turned down an opportunity to be camera ready.
You don't want a little makeup? Right. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting. On The Apprentice, everybody wants to look their best, but you want to come out there with a shiner like that? I don't know about that.
And when he says Elon was looking happy behind the desk, what he's saying is he looked like he was on drugs because that's what everybody saw, including Patrick Bet-David was like, do you think he's on drugs? And they're like, well, I don't care what he does in his personal life. But this is so beautiful, man.
And even with the black eye, I said, do you want a little makeup? We'll get you a little makeup. But he said, no, I don't think so, which is interesting and very nice.
What does that mean?
So you could make that statement too, I guess. Look, Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we're well anymore. I was surprised because you were here. Everybody in this room practically was here as we had a wonderful send-off. He said wonderful things about me. You couldn't have nicer. Said the best thing. He's worn the hat. Trump was right about everything. And I am right about the great, big, beautiful bill. We call it a great, big, beautiful bill because that's what it is. And again, biggest tax cuts in history, biggest economic development moves anywhere. We've never done anything like it.
No. Just some notes on the CBO scored the bill recently, and Trump was touting that it said it's going to raise a certain large amount of money towards the deficit. What he didn't say is the other things that the CBO found, which is it's literally going to shrink the economy and drive inflation up massively. So
yeah. Yeah. Right. I mean, he leaves out the fact that it's going to throw over 10 million people off of healthcare, that we already have hundreds of hospitals, rural hospitals that are at risk of immediate closure. And this basically ensures that that's going to happen.
President Trump's sweeping tariff plan would cut deficits by $2.8 trillion over a 10-year period. And that's what, of course, he's touting. They didn't continue, which is while shrinking the economy, raising the inflation rate, and reducing the purchasing power of households overall. Really, the Malay treatment on America is what's happening.
Shock therapy, basically.
I want to know. We could just be written off as one of his Trumpisms because it does sound like that. But it also could be that he's trying to hint at something, and what that is, I want to know. When he says Elon turned down the makeup, which is interesting. I'm telling
you what it is. It's TV. He wants people out of central casting. He wants you to look good on television, and he thinks it's interesting. You don't want to go and look your best on TV. That's what he means.
Well, for Musk, probably I'm not wearing makeup. I'm not going to be I'm Mr. Masculine. I don't wear makeup. That's probably what Musk's thought process is.
I guess.
Well, I mean, I hate to judge anyone for not coming on camera shy or camera ready, I should say, in the sense that like Musk does like to go on to large platforms without like shaving and does like to go on large platforms without makeup. I think in the case of the black eye, though, what made it extra like noticeable and weird is that there's no good story for how he got it. Like, I think the obvious conclusion you have to come to is that he got really high on ketamine and fell. But he tells this story where like he was teaching X how to do like roundhouse kicks or something, and he got kicked in the face.
He said, I asked my son to punch me in the face, and he did.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Normal.
Is so normal. And also,
really
we know
bad
you don't
excuse.
spend time with your kids, so
Right, yeah. Your all your baby mamas have to like try to harass you in the replies of your app in order to get your attention. To your children.
Unless that kid's being used as like a shield to deflect from the press asking you tough questions. It's classy.
Just one more little snippet from this.
I just saw what the headline is, and I almost burst out laughing.
Things are happening in this room, and I'll tell you, he's not the first. People leave my administration and they love us, and then at some point they miss it so badly, and some of them embrace it and some of them actually become hostile. I don't know what it is. It's sort of Trump derangement syndrome, I guess they call it.
Oh no.
We have it with others too. They leave, they wake up in the morning and the glamour's gone, the whole world is different, and they become hostile. I don't know what it is. Someday you'll write a book about it and you'll let us know. Yeah.
It's like a drug come down. You know, sometimes some people, I'm not saying who, but they're weaker than I am. They like to take ecstasy. They like to take ketamine.
Sometimes the morning after, people feel a little bit different.
Yeah, they want that drug again, but they're not going to get it.
I want Trump to reference that old post when him and Elon were originally on bad terms, and he was like, Elon came into my office on his knees like a dog.
Yes.
I think it's a mistake for Elon to pick a social media or publicity fight with Trump at a time where he is incredibly weak, and that's reflected in like Tesla's tenuously priced stock. I think this is like a not smart move. Even if he is feeling hurt or disappointed in Doge, this can only really relate or result in him having no home politically in America, because like the far right is going to align with Trump. Because if it's a posting battle, like Elon is going to lose. Elon is going to lose the posting battle. He's going to lose the posting battle. He's going to lose the battle on his own website, which is going to depress him. You know, I would love to be Elon's cat dealer right now. You're going to really be in. The money.
He's got to be rolling in it right now.
Yeah. No.
Jeff Bezos' space company suddenly has all the technological advancements to get all those NASA contracts now. Maybe.
I don't know if we want to give contracts to guys who own trucks. Okay.
So here's this. Elon, without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would control the House and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate. What's he saying there? That he got 2 of those seats? One, I would imagine, is Sherrod Brown getting ousted, but that was the crypto money, basically, explicitly.
Yeah, like I don't know how rich
maybe.
guys who buy elections understand how it looks to be like, oh, you know this awful political situation we're in right now that even I recognize sucks? Yeah, my checkbook is responsible for it.
I mean, Trump in 2016, there are 2 things that people never talk about his political appeal. One is that in the 2016 primary, he hit everybody for being pro-Iraq war, particularly Jeb Bush, where he was saying about how insane it was, how I was against it. It's part of why he still has this like kind of default I'm anti-war thing where it's more about corrupt deals, although still sometimes better than what we were seeing under in the final 2 years of Joe Biden, for now at least. But then the other thing is the corruption thing where he said, I am the guy that has been in those rooms. I'm the guy that has paid politicians to do what I want, and I know how the sausage gets made, and I'm going to change things for you. And so if this is not the fight Elon wants to pick with Trump, Trump obviously is lying about all of that stuff. We don't need to talk about the sincerity because it's basically irrelevant to him. Yeah.
I hope the bill
conversation.
dies.
Yeah, to the conversation, it's about how he's sold himself to the public, unfortunately successfully. Trump has actual charisma. Elon Musk is somebody who, without all of his money, would be weirding everybody out.
Elon Musk is a great experiment in like how much money, how can money convert into charisma?
Right.
And the answer is not very readily.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.